No team has been hotter than the New York Knickerbockers here in the NBA playoffs. They've 2-0 up on Cleveland in the conference finals, and now they've won 9 consecutive playoff games since starting the series against the Hawks, down 2-1. Their plus 221 point differential through 12 playoff games is an all-time NBA record. That's how hot the Knicks are right now, and that's how well they've been playing. Can they keep it going in Game 3 in Cleveland tonight? Let's talk about it. Teddy covers WagerTalk.com with a big game breakdown for Saturday night NBA Knicks and Cavs. And looking at the odds logic live odds screen right now, I'm seeing Cleveland minus 2.5. Total sitting in the 215 range. We're seeing a little bit of over money. And sidewise, we saw a little bit of Cavs money at the open. Not much since. The current numbers getting two-way action. We're seeing both over and under money coming in on the 215 as the total. And we're seeing money for New York and Cleveland. Fairly balanced action at the books. So this is not one of those games where we expect the books to be rooting heavily for one side or the other, at least not as I record this first thing on Saturday morning here in Las Vegas. But yeah, Cavs minus 2.5, 215 the total. And of course, money line becomes a popular option for people looking for Cleveland in this particular point spread range. On the money line, the Cavs minus 135, minus 140 in that range against the Knicks. That way, if you want Cleveland in that regard, and I wouldn't argue with that. If you're looking to back the Cavs tonight, money line play certainly makes sense. That way a win gets recovered. And of course, you capture the 1 and the 2 if you buy them on the money line at 2.5 right now. But certainly when we talk about teams like the Knicks, all right, there have been 12 teams in the history of the playoffs that have won 9 straight in the postseason. 7 of those teams won a championship. So the Knicks really are in, hey, we're elite. We can win championship. But they're in that level of mode right now. It's hard to step in front of that, obviously. When you talk about the best point differential in the history of the NBA playoffs over a 12-game span, that's impressive, okay? And when you read the quotes, when you see how they... So first they rallied from 22 down to beat Cleveland in Game 1 in the fourth quarter, and just 44-11 run out in that ballgame, where the Knicks put their foot down and was like, "Oh, the Cavs are fatigued. They'll be fine. They'll be fine." Cleveland last time they played them even for a half. Had Sam Merrill or Max Strus hit any of the open looks, they had plenty of open looks, and that duo struggled, to put it mildly, in Madison Square Garden. I think they've combined to go 2 of 15 from the floor. But Merrill and Strus and the like had some looks and didn't hit them. And the Cavs had a chance to maybe take a big early lead in that ballgame. And instead, they went in the halftime. What were they, down 4 at the break? They had a chance to be in control of that game and instead weren't, thanks to a lot of the missed shots. And that's the quotes coming out of Cleveland out of the game. James Harden. Quote, "I don't know if we have tired legs or whatever. We had a lot of really good looks. We just didn't make shots. It's just part of the game." And that's true. They didn't make shots. They had good looks. They didn't make shots. So you expect some of those shots to fall in Cleveland. But perhaps the bigger concern for the Cavs is the fatigue issue. When you're playing in 7-game series and you don't get extra days off, it starts to add up. They played every other day since, April 29th? And the looks that weren't falling for the Cavs on Thursday night, open looks, good looks, that tells me this is a tired team. That tells me this team has tired legs. And sometimes you return home and all of a sudden the role players step up. This is a fairly common thought process in the league is that, hey, Sam Merrill and Max Strus, they couldn't hit shots in the Garden, but once they come back to Cleveland, those guys will be fine, and Terry will be fine. And the Cavs are primed to play a better game than they have, and they probably are. But this is a team that has now played, again, every other day for more than 3 weeks. That doesn't happen in the regular season in the NBA. And the fatigue issues for the Cavs are very real. That doesn't change whether you're playing in Madison Square Garden or you're playing in Cleveland. It doesn't. And I know the Cavs are 6-1 at home in the playoffs. And I know the Cavs trailed the Pistons 2-0, just like they trailed the Knicks 2-0. So they have been here before. They have done that before. And we'll give them credit for that. But, you know, they're not making free throws. Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, 10 of 20 from the charity stripe here in this series. That's not going to cut it. And when you're desperate, then the Knicks went on that big run to open the third quarter. What happened? Schroeder missed a pair of free throws for the Cavs. Jared Allen missed a pair of free throws for the Cavs. And you can't have that when when the opposing team is going on a monster run and you have a chance to stop it. Clearly, I have some issues with Cleveland right now. And again, when you're getting beat the way they've been beat, outscored 44-11 in game one, down the stretch of a game they're supposed to have, and unable to get good looks when it mattered most. For the Cavs in game two, everything's fine. And then, boom, one big run, and there's no counter run for Cleveland. They don't, and again, they had some looks. They didn't make those looks, but on the defensive end of the court, they weren't getting stops. And on the offensive end of the court, they don't have answers right now. So we don't want to overreact to any one given game or any two given games. You know how the NBA works. The team looks awful one time and then looks great the next time. It's not unusual. You can't be shocked if Cleveland looks better in the second half here than they have. But I'm not looking to step in front of the Knicks right now. Plain and simple. I tried it, and I've learned my lesson in that regard. The Knicks have been really good for my clients and I here in the postseason. The only two times I've lost betting on the Knicks the whole playoffs is when I try to step in front of them. They're the better team. They're going to the finals. That makes me looking only at New York plus the points in this one, not Cleveland minus. Before I talk about the total for tonight's game, I do want to let you know all about what's going on at wagertalk.com. And I want to ask you guys one simple favor. If you like these video breakdowns, and I'm trying to do one each and every day here in the playoffs, I have another one tomorrow for the Spurs and Thunder game 4 as well. And of course, all the quality video content at Wager Talk TV. But we appreciate the likes. We appreciate the comments. We appreciate the follows very, very much. We're just short of 250,000 subscribers. I might get there this weekend. Get instant alerts when these videos go live. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. Visit my homepage, www.buzz.com/TC. Great deals right now, whether you want a 3-day pass, whether you want a month and get an extra 10 days, whether you want a full year at $99 a month. Check it out. wt.buzz.com/TC or just visit the website, wagertalk.com. So, from a total standpoint, we've seen money come in on the over for this ball game. Not a ton of money, but we were looking at 214s and 214.5. Now I'm seeing 215, 215.5 at some of the leading indicator books. So the markets are telling us we should expect some pace tonight in this one. And if I got a client play tonight, it's more likely to be on the total than it is on the side. I lean Knicks sidewise. I'm not stepping in front of the Knicks. This team, they're better than Cleveland. And I'll give the Cavs credit for being here, but we've seen it twice that when the Knicks put their foot down, Cleveland can't score. And they're not getting good offensive possession. So it's Knicks or pass from a side standpoint. From a total standpoint, it really is interesting because there's been no pace in this game. They really hadn't. The first game was slow. The second game was even slower. And some of that was garbage time at the end. Whereas in game one, we saw a furious rally from the Knicks and the Cavs. Well, they couldn't put the biscuit in the basket, but the pace was there. In game two, once the Knicks took the double-digit lead in the second half, their foot was not on the throttle when it comes to from a pace standpoint. They really weren't pushing tempo the same way. And it's not like the Cavs had a lot of looks and had a lot of opportunities to run. So there was no pace at all in game two. The markets expect, we talk about how can Cleveland make adjustments? What can the Cavs do differently? The one thing they can do, and the markets think they have to do, is push tempo a little bit. Is get out in the break, get some easy looks in transition. And that makes a lot of sense to this better The Knicks going to cooperate in that regard? And not necessarily. But it's not like the Knicks have had a hard time penetrating this defense so far in this series and not putting up crazy numbers. Scored 109 in game 2. And again, that slowed down at the end a little bit. And obviously in game 1, it went to overtime after being an under throughout the course of the game, went over in the extra session. In this one, I think Cleveland's going to try to push pace. I would not be surprised if the Knicks match them in that regard. We're looking at over 215, and that is the official play for this video. Is Cavs Knicks over the total and Knicks plus the points. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate your time on Memorial Day weekend. Stay tuned right here on this channel for more quality video content. Check back tomorrow for another big game breakdown video as the Spurs and Thunder battle in Game 4. Best of luck with all your bets. And again, if you get a chance, we appreciate the comments, likes, and follows very, very much. Cheers.